there folks, it's me RJB from RJB TV and welcome back to the channel. Yesterday we had sadly a little bit of a disappointing ending to the last game of that series. So today I went and tried to select a set of games that is hopefully gonna be super duper fun. But there's one problem. Oh wait, I found it. I put it into the wrong folder, so I had some trouble finding the replays, but here we go. Burgersasu on Terran and Zerg against 458 on the Protoss. And now the great thing about 458 and Burgersasu is that they never ever disappoint. The games they play are always a lot of fun. I cast them, I'd say, quite often. And that is purely because it's so much fun to cast their games. Like, when these two play, you are gonna get absolutely hype, amazing stuff. Let me just change it there at the top, because that is still from the previous video. Burger, no wins, and 4 of 8, no wins. So we can keep track of our two contenders there at the top. Okay, so let's make it a little bit smaller. It's a little bit too big. Like, I changed the text fonts yesterday. Like, I spent some time trying out new text fonts, and I ended up not liking what I had. But eventually I found this one, but this one is still kind of new to me, so I'm not really that used to what it looks like yet. But I hope that this text font will be to your liking, because I kind of like the gold and black. I like the gold and black. I've tried a lot of different colors, but nothing just gives me the same feeling as the gold and black does. It just hits differently. So Burgersasu here on the blue Zerg, right next to 458, and most of the time that does spell some trouble for 458. Or for Burgersasu. It really depends on what build order 458 goes for. 458 this time around is going for a double gateway in his choke. This is something that I've largely seen Rabbit do in this exact same way. Allows you to build cannons right here on the corners. This is a lot like the Zerg double hatchery in the choke method of walling off the front. But I feel he's gonna go for double zealot, might go for a gateway after the two zealots. He's not. I don't think he is. I thought he might go for that Nexus, but he's gonna go for a pylon. No Nexus there in the back there yet. He has the money for a Nexus. Not anymore. He scouts with a second probe because he really wants to find Burgersasu, and finds him right next to him as the Zealots finish. And Burgersasu kind of skimped out on proper protection to keep this hole difficult to get into. And now the Zealots are going to just slide right in there and attack that creep. More drones are on the way there to make more creeps in the front. Zerglings have spawned. 6 Zerglings are on the way. 6 more are under construction, or being morphed, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, he doesn't save the creep, because if he morphs it now, it is too low HP to really be helpful. So he builds 2 new ones. The Zerglings are doing their best to keep those Zealots away. The Zealots are still pretty much all alive. I don't think a single one of them died, except that one in the back there is going to die It's still alive. Pretty good control there from 458. Burgersasu has to really dig deep into his pockets to finance the game from here on out. He has 6 drones. He had to use 3 drones there for his choke. Usually you only want to use 1 or 2. But because he delayed the Zerglings a little bit, and he only went for 1 single creep in the front at the start, he had to pay the price for trying to cheap out on his choke. And that's all because he simply wasn't finding his opponent, and his opponent wasn't finding him either up until the moment the Zealots had spawned. And that does give 458 the advantage, because then it's a surprise party, because the Zealots arrive and you didn't expect them. But Burgersasu makes quick work of it. It was only 2 gateways, not 3. 3 gateways might have done him in. I'm not too sure. Might have done him in. But the Zerglings there do allow him to survive. And we got a Nexus there in the back finished up, so we did go for a Nexus after all. No Cybercore on the way there. Wait, is that a Cybercore? That's a Cybercore. So Cybercore is on the way. 1 cannon in the front, another pylon there. Probably going to build Robos right here. I do not think he's going to build on the middle, because he's already pretty much right next door. So I think he's going to largely try to play from within his base instead of from the middle. If you're further away from the Zerg, it is a pretty good idea to build stuff on the middle, like get some cannons here, get some robos there, and maybe get some gateways behind that to just attack faster, reduce the distance to your enemy. But there's no distance to be reduced with him right next to Burgersasu. He's going to build just within his base, and that is in fact a Stargate, so we're going to get a Corsair first, and after that we're going to see the robo. So Corsair going to come out first to just poke some of those overlords and be annoying. He built it outside of vision, but his overlord sees a pylon there. He's going to move up and check the choke and check if there is anything else there to worry about. Actually, no, he's not. Yes, he is. Oh, I don't know what he's going to do. So he's still hanging in the back. Pretty steady 2 Gateway Zealot production. Going to try to kill some Sunkens in the front. We have an overlord there in the sky, so Burgersasu knows it's coming. And they're going to send the Zerglings in to make sure nothing gets through, and to make sure that the Zealots don't really end up killing too much. So there's really nothing to be worried about. The Sunken in the front will go down, but it costs him pretty much every single Zealot. He might try to walk through, but Burgersasu micros back and forth to make sure that the Zealots can't really walk through without dying, and they all do die. So that's going to be another creep, so 2 more creeps are in the front to wall at the front. Very good Evo chamber to make sure that this is the only part he can break through. Overlord there has seen the Stargate, so Chorus is going to be on the way very soon. 2 robots are in the front as well. We're on 4 gas at the moment. 1 is not being used yet. Citadel of Adun for Zealot speed. And he's going to keep on producing Zealots from that 2 gateway. Whereas Burgersasu here back at home is using all the information from this Overlord and that Overlord to pretty much just get as many hatcheries as he can, while delaying the Hydralisks as much as he can. He's going to delay the Hydralisks up until he sees maybe the first shuttle. Although, because his Overlord died and his course is going to keep Overlords away, I do think he's going to get his Hydralisks very soon, within the next 15 seconds. Because he saw the 2 robos there warping in. Didn't see them finish because the Overlord died, but he did see that the robos were still warping in when the Overlord was still alive right here. And that gives him like a 2-minute window to drone, and then start his Hydralisks right at about the end of those 2 minutes. As you can see, Hydralisks are now on the way. Corsair has killed, I think, 1 Overlord. Yeah, 1 Overlord went down. The Corsair did not get the kill. Zealots are getting shuttled over the hill. So he's going to shuttle in the Zealots, start attacking the Zerglings and the Hydralisks to distract and maybe kill a couple of them. And then when the 2 Reavers finish back at home, he's going to pick them up and fly them in while the Zealots are still fighting. Goes in a little bit too early though. Goes in a little bit too early. He should have waited in the corner, and now the Zealots here are gonna die without really doing much. He does get information, but that information is not worth it. So that is, sadly, 4 Zealots wasted for 458. Would have liked to see him not lose those 4, shuttle in 4 more, and then shuttle in the 2 Reavers and have a 8 Zealot, 2 Reaver against like 15 to 20 Hydralisk fight. The 2 Reavers can win that fight purely by existing and shooting scarabs. So the Chorus is going to stay on the side to make sure Overlords do not get vision inside of 458's base. And Burgersasu has really gotten as much out of it as he could. He's on 7 hatchery in the back, 1 in the front. That's very good for an 8-minute game where he started with 6 drones after building his choke. That's really good. That's a really quick progression. He's cutting it close to the edge. But it's all because he saw all that information with the Overlords earlier that he can play like this. Information gathering is really the key to adjusting and adapting your gameplay. Don't just always follow the exact same path. Get that information and confirm what's happening. And if you see things that you like that are happening, you can maybe just like do this. Get more drones, get fewer Hydralisks, and then once you feel you have enough drones, like 48 or 50 like Burgersasu has right here, you start producing all those Hydralisks. His economy is booming. He's absolutely booming. 2 more hatcheries are on the way, getting a Spire as well. No Queen's is being shown anywhere yet. Wonder if he's going to throw the Queen's somewhere in the front or in the back. Some players throw it in the front to help with building the wall, because most players only get... Oh, drop coming in on the bottom corner. Ooh, that's a stronger one. Reaver goes down, or he gets picked up, getting micro. The Zealots are on the hunt, trying to fight. Reaver down the side stays alive. Barely stays alive. Let me just highlight that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, everything goes down. So 458 got a little greedy with this Reaver shuttle micro and lost both Reavers without really doing much after the first initial shots. That did do a lot. Overlord there once again getting information. Very important stuff to do. Really important stuff to keep on getting that information. Sees a lot of gateways there being warped in. Sees 5 support robotics in the front. One more being warped in. It's gonna be 6 robos in the front. He's gonna commit to the Reaver shuttle play. Maybe mixing some Templars. His Storm is on the way. He's got 2 Forges in the back getting upgrades. His Courser in the sky going down. 2 Scourges opening up the skies for more vision. And the Mutalisks are coming in. And what are they gonna do? There's literally nothing they can shoot up into the sky, so he goes right for the cannons. Now that is gonna be a painful move. A painful move for 458, that is, because he didn't have his cannons on time. That's something Burgersasu also confirmed with the Overlord. He saw that there were not enough cannons in the back there yet, so he made some mutas and flew right on in. Very quick thinking, very quick gameplay, but here comes the shuttle drop. Burgersasu going to try to intercept that, but the Hydelists are out of position. Reavers, Templars unloading, gonna try. No, he dodges right back into High Templar. Gonna get sniped. Templars on the scene. Mutas are killing whatever they can. Drones all do stay alive. Oh, he messed up. He messed up really bad. Oh my god, that was a very close call. Burgersasu almost dodged right back into the Reavers and the High Templars, but managed to turn around just on time. As you can see right here, we got the Mulas there killing stuff in his base. Whatever they can, it's going down. Oh, the Nexus goes down. Burgersasu with a very quick, precise surgical strike based off of the information he gathered earlier. Burgersasu really is, in my opinion, the most fun Zerg to watch. And perhaps, maybe one of the best Zergs to watch in Zerg against Protoss. He just always delivers a great meal. A great meal. So now 458 is in trouble. He's got 55 probes. He lost like 10 of them to the Mutalisks as the Mutalisk glaives bounce off the Nexus and kill some probes as they kill the Nexus. A bunch of cannons went down. Has to kill his own 2 cannons to make sure a second Nexus can be built there to get the additional gas. Gonna probably build a Nexus here as well. He's got a pretty good supply, but not as good as Burgersasu. He's really been slowed down a lot. His gas income is terrible at the moment. His mineral income is terrible as well. He's gonna need like 20 more probes to be in a fine spot economy-wise, but while he's trying to get there, and when he gets there eventually, Burgersasu is going to be maxed out on 75 drones or more, have Guardians, although no Hive is being morphed yet. He's sticking to the lair. He's really just going for massive hatchery count and a lot of Hydralisks with level 1 finished up just earlier, getting level 2 now, almost on 2. Scourges are keeping the enemy Corsairs away from the side. Burgersasu is in control. And this goes to show that if you have one momentary lapse in judgment or focus in your play against Burgersasu, you immediately get punished for it. I don't think there is another Zerg player who can punish you as quickly and as decisively and as deadly as Burgersasu. So 458 there tries to find a spot on the top left corner, excuse me. Almost the Reavers, High Templars in between, Zealots in the front, Reavers go down, storming the Hydras, trying to dodge everything he can, but ooh, that's a huge amount of kills on the Storms. Tries to fly forward to storm those drones. Templar, very close, but gets sniped. About 6-7 lurkers there at the lair. Reavers falling forward. Reavers still killing a lot of stuff. Zealot in the front there. Archon helping out greatly. Has no more Storms in the mix. Another drop there comes in. He had a couple of shuttles that survived. Pulled them back home. Picked up more stuff and flies in for the drop. Gets the High Storms on the High Templars. And 34 drones stay alive. Almost all the drones died. Almost all the drones died. He's got less than half of them still alive. He does have about 1,800 minerals. Now 1,300 because he queued up some drones. So we got 24 drones on the way. Maybe another 12 will be produced very soon. Doesn't have the larva available at the moment, so back on 46 and soon back on 58. Not great, but it's better than 34, that's for sure. So 458 does not lose steam, despite losing the Nexus, the core of his play and his economy. He's still throwing punches, and he's throwing them pretty hard, although he's only on 64 probes, so there's not a lot in the tank. His economy is low. You can see it in his minerals. His minerals are very, very low. It's not going great. It's not looking great. But the Corsairs come in to take down the Mutas, and they get pushed away by the Corsairs. Now getting scared away by the Scourge. Cannons are finishing up to protect them. Burgersasu is recovering quite well, getting a Queen's Nest, getting ensnared, gonna get some Queens as well for ensnare on the shuttles. Hive finishes up, so we're gonna see maybe a Defiler Mound, and for certain a Greater Spire, because we have the Mutalisks, so Greater Spire for sure gonna happen. Queens on the side. Queens on the side. 458 has the big drop there, winning on the bottom. Waiting for a moment to get in there, but we have so much anti-air prepared to counter that. We got 2-2 there on the Hydras, and what do we have on these shuttles? 0, 0, 0. Absolutely nothing at all. So the shuttles will die pretty quick to a level 2 attack. Hydras comes in, horses in the front, unloads on top of everything, kills a lot of stuff, but also loses his Templars, Reavers, and Zealots pretty quickly, and I do not think that was a good call. I think he should have just tried to fly in even deeper, but he wanted to open a path for the next drop, but it just didn't work out as he had in mind. It was a good plan, it just didn't happen as he wanted it to. Maybe it was a little bit forced. Maybe he shouldn't have forced it. Maybe he forced it a little bit too much, and when you apply too much pressure to something, you know, things can break. And what broke first? The weakest link. What was the weakest link? The shuttles with no upgrades. He's really behind on upgrades. 1-0-1 there on the gateway units. Gonna try to kill some Sunkas in the front with a couple of those Reavers. That's a pretty good move. Switching up the points of attack. But we have those Mutalisks. The Mutalisk died. Drop over the top. Sniped by Hydras. Waiting on position. He does kill the entire choke pretty quick though, but there's more Sunkas being built behind that choke. We got Hylas lying in wait. He's gonna try to micro and save the Reavers as fast as he can. He's gonna get out of there, safe and sound, so he can use the Reavers and the shuttles for a drop in the future. Very effective stuff. This cost him just a couple of Scarabs, but he killed the hatchery, some Sunkas, and some Hylisks there at the front. Very effective move, but will it be effective enough? He is peeling away the outer layer of Burgersasu's base, but Burgersasu got Guardians on the way, and almost level 3 on the Hydras for Carapace and attack. There's vision everywhere, so this is not going to catch Burgersasu by surprise. He sees this flying in all the way from home and ensnare on the shuttles, forced to unload or lose the shuttle. So this is going to be a painful call. I wanted to say a painful call, but look at him clean out like 30 to 40 Hydras. Well, 30. Let's make it 30. 40 is a little bit too much. Great shots there from the Reavers, great storms as well, but Reavers making new Scarabs, trying to crawl the way to safety, and he cleans that out pretty quickly. So who cares about losing 30 Hylisks? Just make some new ones, and then you move in with the Guardians on that side. They got weakened up earlier. There's no Corsairs, only Templars with Storm, no Dragoons. There's not much here that can realistically fight against the Guardians except Storms, but Storms can be dodged somewhat. That's a lot of Templars though, so he should be fine. That should keep the Guardians away. But I do expect Burgersasu to maybe go for an Overlord drop when Overlord Transportation finishes up. He's researching it. He's researching transportation. He's getting Defilers. He's getting Consume. So he's got a pretty scary combination going here. He's going to pick up all those Hydras and Zerglings, and the Defiler, maybe 2, put them in the Overlords, and unload them here on the bottom left. Big drop there. Once again, it goes in. The entire top side is unprotected. He finds a pathway into the backside. He unloads on the top corner. Does not go for the drones. I do not agree. But he does not see what we see, and he didn't see that there was pretty much nothing in the back for Burgersasu. So maybe to 458, this looks like a great move. Templar gets close, very close. Storms on the drones. Drones do go. Ooh, the drones. I think 20 of them went down. 20 drones went down, but 68 is still alive, and that's more than enough. More than enough. Guardians, no, not the Guardians, it's the Overlords flying in, unloading, Templars storming, Overlords dying, but will something unload? 1, 2 survive, and nothing unloads. So I guess he just lost everything he put in there, or maybe it was a fake one. It was a fake drop. Look at this, it was a fake drop. He was baiting out the storms. There's still more storms though, but less than before. Overlords are not gonna survive this one. They all do go down. Maybe that was not a real drop. I don't know. He threw away 20 Overlords. Maybe he was just trying to get storms out of the High Templars to then allow these Guardians to push, but there's more High Templars on the scene, ready to take down those Guardians. 4-8 is holding on bravely, but this is definitely not a game that's been going well for him. It's been going very well for Burgersasu, but for 4-5-8, this game has not been going too well. So another drop. There's one storm? No storms. So he's managed to get all of those storms out of the High Templars, and he flies in. This is finally the real drop. As he's unloading, very smart play from Burgersasu, forcing 4-8 to use all the storms on empty Overlords. Then he goes in with a real one, and the Lurkers burrow up, get Dark Swarm, and he kills the entire economy. Loses his own drones at the same time as well, because we have a mass drop there happening at the same time. Oh, both players going for the juggler. Hive will stay alive. A lot of drones do go down, and Burgersasu is the victor because this is game ending, whereas this is merely a minor inconvenience. Minor inconvenience. So yeah, 4-5-8 loses game number 1, and Burgersasu yet again gets the first win of a series. With a very good Zerg against Protoss performance, I hope for 4-5-8 that he can claw himself back in game number 2, which should be coming up very soon.